Just be very, just show the data.
Right back.
Illegal immigration, this is Wall Street Journal, is a bigger problem than ever.
Oh, no, that's
These
fake
5
news.
charts explain why. Go a little bit lower. That's under Biden.
Trump got shot trying to show these charts, literally.
This is October of 2023. Go to the next one.
A guy who was registered Republican.
Here's another
Hold
one.
on, wait,
for you.
can I address what
no, let me just show the data,
was?
and then I want you to say what you want to say. Go a little bit lower with the data, Ron. No, because he said it's inaccurate. This is another one here.
Okay, well, go back up. Go back up to the.
And then go to the last one, Rob. Go to the last one, Rob.
Go to the top one here.
I mean, this is the numbers you're talking about.
Charts.
So this is you can
start one by one. Go up.
Explain every one of them. Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can see that this is what constitutes illegal immigration. These are, if it was an open border, you would not have.
Speaking on illegal immigration, you know what's actually crazy? Now that nobody's ever mentioned this, but there are no victims of Trump administration. Well, yeah, I like to say, yeah, there's no American victims of Trump administration, but there are plenty victims, American victims of the Biden administration. Plenty of violent acts committed upon American citizens because of Biden's mishandle of the border. So here's what I like to say. The Biden administration, they got victims. They got people who are actually hurt by his policies. Trump, I mean, it's too soon to say. I mean, if you want to talk about the building he bombed in Yemen, I mean, sure, you can count that, but let's talk about Americans. He ain't got no American victims, but Biden, I mean, Lincoln Riley, the residents of that apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado, yeah, they're victims of Biden's presidency.
These numbers. You would not have the numbers to know when Title 42 ends.
Yeah.
More people are coming to the border and they're being put into a system. Period.
That's the best part about it.
And that's the
because
definition.
they were told to come. Sam, let me explain something. When your president says come to the country,
just gonna yell all the
no,
time?
I'm not yelling. You just give me facts.
Can I turn down his microphone because
you can't? Yeah, just see which one he is. I think he's C3 or which one is it, Rob?
C3.
C3.
C3. Go ahead, lower that right there.
And then the mic
right there. There you
volume,
go. Is that good? Is that good?
C2.
Oh, C2. There you go.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So
you're still going to hear the truth, though. So go ahead.
No, I'm happy to.
Yeah.
Can't turn down the truth.
No, you can't.
Open border would mean that we have no records of people coming across the border. The law in this country has been that if you put your foot in this country, it's an international law. It's a U.S. law. If you put your foot in this country and you apply for asylum, you are due a process to do that. 98% of those people who are then what you guys would call catch and release come back for their hearings. We are woefully understaffed in terms of like immigration judges, and that process is definitely broken. I would love to see more money spent in the processing of these people so that we can establish which ones, like your family,
like my family as well, illegal immigrants.
No, but came in through a refugee status. They weren't citizens on day one. They came in, they went through a process, and it's possible at that time. I mean, I remember, I was old enough to remember the Iran hostage situation. I remember the fallout afterwards. There may have been some form of temporary protected status, whatever it was at the time, that allows people to come in. Then they're assessed and processed. It's determined that, yes, their claim for asylum is appropriate or not, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we're looking at there. As you scroll up on those other charts, you can see when Title 42 ends, which was only supposed to be an emergency situation that has to do with health, and you can't have it both ways. Either COVID ends or it doesn't end, the pandemic. And so people come in. There's no doubt, and that number on that chart that Musk had, under Biden, more people received temporary protected status. We had a problem in Haiti as the country is falling apart. You had people from Ukraine coming in because of obviously the invasion. These are all under temporary protected status. They all got Social Security numbers so they could pay taxes into our government and not necessarily get the services back.
Yes, and vote for Democrats.
No, they can't vote.
Right.
Those Social Security cards literally say
AOC,
on the card, say you can't use this for voting.
AOC said we don't have an illegal immigration problem. We have a documentation problem. That's what AOC said. So
standing on that argument, on the card it says, bro, show us one of these cards. Because I'm Googling it. I'm about to damn near chat GPT it in a second and be like, bro, was there there card that says, yeah, like Social Security that says not for voting purposes. So wouldn't they also mark that on your ID? Well, where's the ID of these non-citizens that says ID not for voting purposes? Like, please, you got to show proof of this.
This is not something new. You know how when you talk about who's better at gerrymandering, the left or the right?
Republicans seem to be better at that.
The Republicans.
I know. I agree. Guess what? So it's not like they can fight it and say, no, we're not. That's their reputation. They have it. They're better at gerrymandering. Strategically, they're better at doing that. But for you to sit here,
I don't have a problem.
May I make my point?
Let me
make my point.
Yeah.
When you sit here and you watch yourself when you're saying these policies and you spew out these policies, what the average person does, they'll watch it. And if they've already outgrown it, because today the problem with, folks, content creators have today is the following. Say we say something on a video and we're wrong. You know what others will do? They'll react to it and they'll say stuff to it. And if we're right, they'll keep coming to us to want to hear more of it because they'll say, at least you sound reasonable. And they'll say, I want to hear what John has to say. I want to hear what Joe has to say. I want to hear what Megan has to say. I want to hear what, whoever these people are that are giving ideas out there want to say, right? But when you keep saying stuff that others are able to tear apart so many times that a former liberal watches that maybe was a viewer of you and says, how can Sam not see this and outgrow it? He is still stuck on this policy that's been proven. Americans don't want to pay more taxes to a government that wastes their taxes. How does he not see that? How does he keep pushing this agenda back and forth? Then you lose an audience, and the people you keep is the following. Here's who you end up keeping. You end up keeping an audience that makes you think you're right, but that's not always the case. You keep an audience that, of course, hates rich people. Rich people are bad people, and they're probably not making a lot of money, and they come to Sam to save them. Hey, let's trash and bash rich people because this is what we got to do. Yes, Sam, let's go after the rich people. But in reality...
Are you talking about me? Because we just had our biggest month. No, and when people on
you had the biggest one because of Jubilee. You were on Jubilee and you were on that show.
We've been going back up.
No, you were on Jubilee and Jubilee gave you a lot of eyeballs. So Jubilee brought a lot of traffic to you.
People agreed.
Damn, I'm weak. You saying, bro? It's not your message. It was the fact that you was on a very big platform.
A lot of, I mean, a lot of people agreed.
Did more agree or disagree?
I would say a lot more agreed.
Well, you would say that because you're in it.
Well, so you want me to do metrics? We had our biggest subscription.
I believe you because Jubilee helped you.
Okay, but my point is that
credit to you. You should say thank you to Jubilee. That's a
thank
very
you, Jubilee.
Yeah.
I would also add that, I think there are definitely people who watch my show and then over a period of time are going, I disagree with Sam, and proudly, those people move to the left of where I'm at.
You think people move to the left
of you?
100%.
Sam, do you realize?
100%.
Do you realize how to make a statement? I love that you said it.
Oh, it's true.
I love that you said it. So you think people who age and live longer, they go further to the left than to the right? You think as people mature in life,
am I the oldest person on this?
No, you're not. But
I'm pretty close. I bet.
No, you're pretty far. It's just the other guy looks very young. But you.
How old are you?
He's 62.
God damn.
You got me by 3 years.
Yeah. So you're not. So
you're 59, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But do you think?
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. Like Sam, Seder, and Tom. I mean, bro, y'all need to drop the fitness plan for these fools, man. Y'all need to drop a fitness plan, your dietary plan, because no offense, y'all look. I'm no homo. Y'all look pretty good. Y'all look pretty good for 62. Like what, bro? Tom still got like a full head of hair. Like the only thing that's white is this man's beard, and this guy. I ain't gonna lie, 59 still looks good for 59. I mean, shout out. Healthy eating.
As people age, they become more conservative or more liberal, more leftist.
I think it changes with generations. But
no, that's not the case. There is a evident more of one or the other. Do you think, like it's asking a question, do you think as we age, do our bones get stronger or weaker? They get weaker. As we age, do we become more leaning? Okay, this is a chart. Perfect. Thank you for that. Pew Research. As we age, we become more conservative. But to you, the more you age, the more you become progressive and leftist.
See, I mean, that's how it worked out for me as 18. Yeah, I was highly liberal. 18 through, I would say 22, I was liberal. and then 23 and up, and then 23, I would say through that 27 time, I was low-key leaning way more conservative, especially since I got out of that my liberal college. I mean, after I got out of my liberal ass college, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to live that lifestyle with them. It's like they are wilding. And yes, shout out to the liberal college homies.
See, that's the part where Americans, as they age and go through, you may have a very young audience that finds you.
This, I think if you look at this chart, and first of all, you'll also know.
And that is also true. When you're a broke college student, man, Bernie Sanders was sounded like your hero when you was a broke college student, man. But then when you start getting money, you start like establishing yourself, Bernie Sanders sounds like somebody was trying to take all your bread. Like, bro, who is you? I'm telling you, on 18, Bernie Sanders is your hero. At 28, that man is coming for your money. Like, bro.
Notice that like the dynamic shifts, right? So if what you were saying was true, 70 to 79 would be greater Republican favor than 60 to 69. I don't know what to tell you.
So funny.
But so I will also tell you
realize what your shtick is. I'm getting your shtick.
I'm looking at the numbers you put up on this graph.
18 to 24 is 34. Then it goes to 32. Oh my God! You know they became more liberal because they went to college and they screwed up their brains.
Wait.
And then they go to 42, 47, 50, 50. Oh, they dropped to 51 and they go to 58. Nope, they're becoming more liberals at 70 to 79. Do you know why 70 to 79 become more liberal?
I will also.
Do you know why 70 to 79 becomes more liberal? Do you know why 70 to 79 becomes more liberal?
Yes, because they're getting Social Security.
Exactly. So they got to protect it. So they're like, hey, man, at least, I agree. But still at 80 plus, they're more conservative.
But
you know why 80 plus, they're more conservative?
I will also suggest to you that it has to do with the years that you grow up in.
It's the same thing I said to you last time.
People 50 to 59 grew up in a Reagan era and a Thatcher era. And as in the wake of that, you can see that people are more progressive, increasing.
Why did Charlie Kirk blow up so much the last 4 years? Specifically 18 months. Why did he blow up on TikTok out of all the places?
Did you see?
How do you blow up on TikTok? Do you know he was the most viewed Jubilee out of all of them?
Did you see that?
I think so. Can you see how many views Charlie Kirk got on Jubilee?
But that's
inconvenient.
This is just absolute.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk blew up though?
I have theories.
I want to hear it.
Please. And don't say
how did he start? How did Charlie Kirk start?
I don't care how he started. I'm asking how he's finishing. How did he blow up so much in the last 18 months?
Going to colleges, speaking in front of colleges? What do you mean?
Yeah, how did TPUSA get started?
Tell us. Let's see what angle
My
you're
assumption
going to.
is he was going to college talking to students.
I actually want to hear what he says because I'm watching these two times.
He got paid by a billionaire to start that organization.
Got it. So
it's just the truth.
So there's what's wrong with that? There's no conviction on what Charlie does.
No, I'm sure there's conviction in what Charlie does.
Why did Charlie do so in the last 18 months?
Then why'd you bring up the money? As if you're saying, oh, well, he only talking like that because of what? Somebody put money behind it? Like I was saying, then why bring up money? Like, just go ahead and refute the point. Like, because let's be real. If Charlie Kirk didn't have any good points and he have any good stands and he have any charisma, no matter how much money you put behind him, he was going to fail. I mean, here's the thing. No matter how much money you put behind somebody, if they're not a good character, if they're not a good candidate, they're going to fail. I thought you learned that with Kamala Harris. Did you not? Did you guys not? You spent $1 billion to put this behind the lady and she still lost. Like, I mean, got blown out. You put a whole lot of money behind Kamala Harris and still got blown out. So us putting money behind somebody or a billionaire putting money behind somebody doesn't really mean that they're going to take off. I mean, I think you guys should know that. If you know, Democrats, out of anybody, y'all should know that.
I mean,
why do you think a 20-year-old guy, why is he blowing up the way that he is? Why is this?
Well, he's not 20. He's in his
28 years old, 29, 30 years old.
He's 30 now, but he started when he was 20.
Yeah. The last 2 years, he was in his 20s. Why has he blown up so much?
I mean, I think there's a lot of money circulating on the right.
But he started when he was 18.
Forget the money.
Sam.
To go to college.
To blame it on the money. What about his voice, his reason, his rationale? He's compelling.
By the way. So here's a question. So you think if you got the same money Charlie got, you would have the same views?
Yeah, I think, I saw Milo Yiannopoulos on Tim Pool about a month or two ago talking about how the Daily Wire got so big. And he said, this is Milo Yiannopoulos. Well, he said,
Charlie's different than Daily Wire.
100%.
He's like, shout out police cam reactions. Like, I hate to tell this guy, but every Democrat has millionaires and billionaires backing them. And that's what I hate about the Democratic Party. Oh, they got the billionaires over there. So do y'all. So do y'all. Y'all bringing up these, oh, they get supported by millionaires and billionaires is a mute point because both sides do. When y'all talk about y'all donors, it is a childish argument because both sides do. That's why the Republicans don't even talk about it because, like, yeah, we know. Of course, like, biggest example, Elon. And yeah, same on y'all side. Best example we got for y'all is Soros.
He said in the right wing content area.
But at least our billionaire isn't a real life supervillain, though. No, Soros, that is a real life supervillain.
He said, we buy bots, we buy views, we buy. I mean, I knew. I'm telling you what Milo Yiannopoulos said.
Go ahead.
This is what he said.
This is
pull
fantastic.
It up. And he said,
"This is fantastic.
We fake it till we make it."
Oh my!
And that's why he's non-existent anymore.
Sam,
he used to be a big voice. Now you don't hear nothing.
Sam, respectfully,
please, Sam.
There's something called giving credit where credit is due. Regardless of where Charlie got his money. Hold on.
I don't care. It's great. I'll give him credit. Charlie Kirk has made a lot of money.
But that's not where the credit is due.
What do you want me to say?
And I don't even know how much money he's made. The point is he's motivated a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's where the credit should be done. He's changed the hearts and minds of people
on
campuses. He would arguably be the #1 reason that Trump flipped Arizona.
Yeah.
To not give someone credit for the good work they've done and blame it on a billionaire.
Money flipped Arizona. Look at TPUSA played heavily in the Kari Lake race. So huge. And the biggest, the widest loss they had was people under the age of 30.
Okay. So you don't want to give Charlie any credit. You blame. So
no, I don't care.
But Sam, hold on.
Give him all the credit in the world.
Before being a nihilist,
I'll give him a trophy.
Sam, you've had. Yeah. Let me just ask this question.
What does he want? You can take the.
Sam,
I don't think Charlie wants.
We're right
I
here,
don't think
buddy.
Charlie needs anything.
Yeah, Sam.
Well,
Charlie won on TikTok.
So
Sam,
a billionaire gives Charlie money and he automatically wins. Okay.
Like, bro, that boy Charlie was getting a billion views on TikTok. Like, shout out Charlie Kirk. Like, I'm be real with you. His personality and all that is like, I'll be real with you. I agree with him on certain things. He's a bit too Christian he leans too hard into the Christian side of it with his politics. So that's probably the only thing I don't like about him. Other than that, seems like a great guy, has some good points. It's just that it does seem like, well, the left hates him. One, because he's everything that the left loves to hate. It's a straight God-fearing white man. So they love to hate them. And well, two, he has religious boundaries. So let's see this whole abortion thing. Man, the libs hate his stance on that one. And I have my disagreements, but he does have a point.
I got a question for you. Explain how Mark Benioff puts money into Time magazine and it goes down.
I don't know who Mark Benioff is. And I haven't read Time magazine and
well, you should get around more. It's unfortunate. Come out of the echo chamber. Mark Benioff is one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time who used his money after his business success, and he went and he buys Time magazine because he wants to push liberal views and values, and the thing craters.
Exactly. Like, just because you put money behind something doesn't mean it's going to be an automatic success. That's something that the Dems should know just off Kamala Harris alone. There's a lot of things that Dems should realize, but they just don't get it. Like running an old man and a woman. Like, think about that. We did that with John McCain and Sarah Palin. And how did that work out for us? Pretty damn bad, right? But then y'all try to do the same thing. And how'd that work out for y'all? Not so well. That's how Trump got it off the first time. And then y'all try to do it again. And how'd that work out for y'all? Not so well. Now we got Trump a second time. And hey, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thanks for effing up twice. Thanks for trying a failed formula twice.
Well, then
he's a billionaire. It should
hit him up for money.
Getting out of my my bubble, right?
Yeah, but you know what it is?
It's true.
Sam, I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I truly do. And I try to look at the only one you can succeed in business and in life and in sales, like you're developing other people, is you have to always look at the best of everybody. You don't have a choice. As a parent, you have to always look at the best of your kids. You don't have a choice for them to do their best, right? And I truly want to look at you and look at it from the part of the best to say capable, great communicator,
Let's make sure to like the video, guys. Go ahead and double tap that screen and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the support, by the way. But yes, go ahead and double tap that screen.
You know, temperament is solid. You go through it. I want to see all the good with you. But the part where you sit there and you realize some policies don't work.
What policies don't work?
Go to
what name a policy that I support that doesn't work.
What do you think about
90% tax rates? I would start there.
Yeah.
Like I say,
90% tax rates after 4 million is asinine. Like, bro, you are wild. You are literally trying to destroy the innovation of America. That's the problem with these socialist ideas. Like, it destroys innovation. Nobody's gonna want to innovate if they're getting paid the same as the next person. If they're getting paid for somebody doing less, nobody's gonna want to innovate. People usually innovate so they can get ahead in life, so they can be, no offense, but have that superiority complex, feel like they're better than the next guy because they went out there, took that risk, build something that the world loves or that the world utilizes. It's just as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And there only really needs to be no hate involved, just anything but admiration and respect because, hey, you went out there and you went and got it. And it happened for you. Congratulations.
When we have
like those of you who hate on the rich will never find prosperity in your life.
Those in this country, everybody can look this up. We had what was known as the Great Compression. It was the greatest expansion of our economy and the lowest wealth disparity we had in the history of this country. I don't know how you would define it anything other than a success.
Let me ask you a question. Let's stay right here on this 90% tax rate. 90%. So
top marginal.
Okay, I'm with you. So you get to keep 10%.
No. 10%
top margin
dollar
of course.
After 4 million.
Okay. No, well, here we go. I'm gonna ask you a question. Like, stay with me for a second. Okay. You just said you had a great month, great quarter, right? Like
Jubilee was a big help.
Whatever it was,
Jubilee is billionaires.
Sure.
Like, you know what billionaires are.
How much additional profit revenue did you make in the last quarter because you've went viral so many times? How much?
I mean, I don't know, but I would guess it's somewhere around tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands, so not millions, tens of thousands. No. Okay, so what are you going to do with that extra 30 grand, 100 grand? What are you going to do with it?
We're going to hire another person.
Oh, so you're going to expand?
Well, I don't know if we're gonna expand, but I'm gonna probably. I mean,
you're gonna invest.
Well, I may invest in some of it.
You're not just gonna bury it in the sand. You're gonna use it.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Here's the problem.
So, we understand. This is the company. These are pre-tax dollars. When I say 90 cents on every dollar, I'm talking individual tax. So
these ideas
this is not about corporate tax. It wouldn't impact anything you're saying about the business, but go ahead.
But we're talking about taxes in general. Let's
no.
There's
a difference between personal taxes and corporate taxes.
Well, if you have an S corp, it flows through to the individual, so it's the same thing. How are you registered with the
It's an
IRS.
Oh,
so it flows through to you.
It's pre-tax dollars.
It's literally what it does. It's the same as individual, but respect to you. But you
we don't have a problem with you making money and getting
I
rich.
Want you to make honestly, I'm a little disappointed. It was only 10.
I don't know. Nobody has a problem with, especially on the conservative side, nobody has a problem with you getting money and providing for your family and having a great life. Nobody's getting mad about that. It's just when y'all libs do it and then you want to turn around and act like the rich shouldn't be able to do it, it's funny. Or when you guys become rich yourselves, you honestly start kind of sympathizing with how the rich feel. You're like, all right, maybe I don't want to attack all the millionaires. All right, let's focus on the billionaires, Bernie. So, yeah, it's a bit disingenuous how y'all Democrats act, especially the Democrats that's making millions of dollars a year, which is hilarious. Like, really? Tax the rich? Oh, really? $25 million a year to, what's her name? Maddow.
Of thousands of dollars. I wish it was millions of dollars. I wish the best for you. But here's the problem why you can't.
And you ever wonder, like, they turn millionaires and now they're talking about, oh, we need to tax the top 0.001%. You need to tax all the billionaires. I bet you do think that. I bet you do.
Tax your way to making everybody wealthy.
No. I'm not taxing my way to making everybody wealthy. I am taxing understand the 90% tax rate on every dollar after 4 million is to deal with wealth disparity in this country, because I believe the more you concentrate wealth, the more you concentrate political power.
Why 4 million?
And I believe in democracy.
Why 4 million?
Just because that's what we had for 15, 20 years in this country. I mean, it was 470,000 in 1940.
Why not do that like
no. I'm just because I'm a student of history and I really appreciate Ronald Reagan. Do you know the Reagan story of why he ended up running for governor and for president? Do you know the whole tax story? Let me give it to you real quick.
The story of GE sending him around to fight against Medicare.
Okay, but that's not the story we're talking about. The tax story that Ronald Reagan basically was like, holy crap, because everything with taxes has to do with incentives and motivation. So the story with Reagan was the following. The top marginal tax rate back in the 40s and 50s, when Ronald Reagan, before he became a governor, he was a famous what? Actor. There we go. We're on the same page. Was $200,000. And the equivalent of $200,000 today is $2.5 million. So at $200,000, the top marginal tax rate was your favorite number?
90%.
90%. We're going somewhere. So do you know his famous quote? I'll do 2 movies a year. I get paid $100,000 per movie. Tell me why I should go make a 3rd movie. Because if you're going to tax me at 90%,
and you know what?
You shouldn't.
If you've seen his
exactly.
movies, we didn't.
No. Don't go there, guy. Don't go there, guy.
I don't know what to tell you.
Talk numbers.
If you don't want to, if you don't want to make a movie, don't make it.
Stop it. The reason he wouldn't make the movie is because he would only keep 10%. He said famously, I can make freaking Gone with the Wind. I wouldn't keep any of the money.
Yeah.
It has to do with, you said shtick.
Hey, bro, if you're getting taxed at 90% after your 4 million, yeah, bro. At that point, it's just like, well, wait, what am I doing? It's like basically I'm working for the government. That's basically what you're telling people to do is put all their hard work, take all that risk just to give it to the government. Our forefathers would be, bro, they're turning in their graves right now hearing people talk like this. Turning in their graves. We're talking about people who started a whole war over taxes, who was low-key ready to stack bodies over taxes. And now today we got people talking about, bro, we want you to work for the government. Because that's pretty much what you're saying. Yes, we're going to highly tax the rich, so they're pretty much just working for us. They're creating jobs, starting new businesses, services, all that, just for the government, not for themselves, because we're going to take most of their money. Crazy.
Carrots and sticks. If you don't incentivize people, if you don't incentivize entrepreneurs, why will they work harder?
Okay.
Why will they invest?
So
you just had a great incentive. You killed it. You made tens of thousands of dollars.
I'm going to take your metaphor.
Do something with that money.
So what happens when Ronald Reagan gets to that threshold of the wealthiest of the wealthy in the country? Because that's what it takes, right? To be making $4 million a year. That puts you. No.
You're making up $4 million like a floozy.
Okay, 2.5.
It's 200,000. Yeah, let's use actual
2.5.
That's what the correlation is. Yes.
So if you're making $2.5 million a year, that places you in the top 1 or 2%, I would imagine, maybe even smaller.
It's less.
0.5%.
Yeah, top 1% is about $500,000.
So you're in the top 0.5% of the
just
country.
Like you're in the top 1% of a podcaster.
Right.
You're doing great.
Top 0.5%. What happens when Ronald Reagan decides I'm only going to make 2 movies a year is you get an opportunity to be that actor. And then somebody else gets the opportunity to make that money.
So shittier actors get more opportunities. It sounds like DEI.
No, it's not. Believe me, I've been out in LA. The best actors don't necessarily get every role. And so it gives an opportunity to spread the wealth. And that's exactly what
centralized subjective fairness on the altar of greed and jealousy. That's what it is. Because it's not fair that all of these people worked their ass off and did and achieved something. We have to stop them and go get someone else who maybe isn't working hard, because it's so unfair.
Are you telling me that there aren't enough hardworking actors who get
no, stop changing it. That's your shtick. That's your shtick, dude. No, it's
Sam,
not.
What you're saying,
I'm asking you a question here because it's about greed and jealousy, isn't it?
Let me tell you.
So the greed that you attack is the greed that you have. You're sitting there. These people must have been.
And that's what makes these libs the worst. It's like they complain about the greed that they have. Like, bro, you know, y'all rich too. And y'all saying, oh, tax the rich. Rich people are the enemy. All they do is hold jobs and all this good stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so you're pretty much telling us that that's you as well? That you're a rich person who holds all their money, who don't give no jobs or opportunities to anybody? Like, so you're pretty much saying that you're who you hate on live television. This is what these libs do pretty much. Pretty much saying that, yep, we're the same people that we hate. Yep, the rich. I'm like, wow, make that make sense.
And greedy, they got all this money and everything.
Here's the thing, though. If they always go against, oh, well, when you cut taxes for the rich, you're just giving tax rates, you just keep more money. No, that's not how it works. I mean, almost every business owner has came out and damn near said, yo, when y'all cut taxes, we reinvest, we build more plants, we create more jobs. That's why when the government's trying to tax you heavily, they're pretty much saying that we know what to do better with your money than you. When they let you keep your money, that allows you to do what you want with your business, or, well, really whatever you want to do with your life. Honestly, I just don't think that the government should be taking income taxes. I'm against income tax. I'll be quite honest with you. Like, I'm just against it. I don't even think we should be paying into such large income taxes to the government. Now, I may be against it, but I do understand the need for it. So, yeah, if we want to talk about income tax, I mean, we could talk about a low one. We could talk about hopping back up on tariffs. Yeah, we could talk about all those social services, but taxing the rich is not helping nothing. It's not going to help nothing. And all that's going to do is honestly destroy our economy. Because like I said, the rich can leave. We're not an oligarchy. We're not a communist regime. So we don't control our billionaires. They can leave and go somewhere else and do business and take their jobs with them as well.
And you're envious and you're greedy for their money. So we're going to take it from them. It should be 90%. They'll keep making, but that's good because now we've stopped them from making good movies.
I think it's pretty obvious to everybody how jealous I am of all of you.
No, it's not
your point.
Yes,
Your point
please go ahead.
About incentives. That is why Ronald Reagan brought in Arthur Laffer. And you know the Laffer curve.
Yes, of course. Explain it.
Laffer curve says that the higher you go up on taxes, the least incentive there is for people to make money.
Yeah.
Or to try harder or to earn more and work harder and stay late and be an entrepreneur and try to build something.
Exactly.
Go on.
But the lower you have taxes, you can actually lower taxes and you'll get more revenue because these people are going to actually be more incentivized because they get.
Like, bro, here's the thing. Everybody in the chat understands what I'm saying. If they disagree or not, they understand what I'm saying. All right, maybe you're just not educated enough to be in here. And since that's the case, we'll just go ahead and get you up out of here. Have a good one.
To keep more. Arthur Laffer was the key advisor to Sam Brownback when he became governor of Kansas in 2012. You can look this up. People just have to Google Sam Brownback, Kansas, 2012. What happened with the great Kansas experiment? He did exactly what Arthur Laffer said. He slashed taxes for S corps, etc. Within, I think it was 2 or 3 years, the Republican legislature rose taxes because revenues had cratered so badly and they had so destroyed what was once the jewel of Kansas, their education system, their higher education system. They rose taxes. Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, there it is. Kansas provides compelling evidence of the failure of supply side tax cuts, which is exactly what you're at.
Do you know how many case examples I can show of cutting taxes helps states, helps companies, help people?
Please show me one.
How do you think this company that we're sitting? Hold on,
show me the state.
Sam, hold on.
Google the state.
You want to throw out some? How do you think this company right here?
Let him say that and respond to it. Okay. So, for example, where are we at right now? What state?
Florida.
Okay. Can you tell me why, out of all the 50 states in America in 2024 that voted for president?
Egg. And shout out to my man, Police Camry. Actually says, I run a fence company and pay $27 in taxes now. It's like, bro, trust me. Trust me, bro. I pay a decent amount of taxes my damn self. Trust me. I don't get no tax refunds. I pay taxes. Okay. Yes. S.E.T pays taxes. It sucks. I miss the days where I got a tax refund, but I don't miss those days at the same time because, well, that means I wasn't making good money.
Why did 50 for 50 state become more Republican? Can you tell me?
And shout out, bro. Shout out to my people out here paying taxes, starting businesses, baby. Starting businesses. That's what I like to see, man. My man LLC'd up. You better put some respect on my man Police Cam name, man.
Me why out of 50 states that voted for president in 2024, can you tell me why the 2 states that lost the most people, the only 2 states in America that lost $1 trillion of money under management, that left their states to another state like Nevada, Texas, and Florida? Can you tell me why those 2 states, imagine New York and California, during COVID, lost $1 trillion of wealth that left to other states? And even after all those people that left, the 2 states that became more Republican than they were before in 2020 were New York and Texas. Can you tell me why people come to Texas? Why do people go?
Hey, shout out Ben, man. He said, someone get Christina. Someone get Christina out the chat. I'm done. I'm sorry, bro. You threw me off that one. You threw me off, but somebody get Kristen out. Somebody get Kristen a tampon in the chat. She's nagging the fuck out of us with her female prattle. Christina, my bad. Christina, a tampon in the chat. Like, Christina, look, man, you might be on your flow. You might want to go ahead and handle that, okay? Go ahead and handle that, sis. But man, I'm not sure what you did, but let's see here. Marginal tax rate 90%. These countries' economic policies was never higher during this period. Oh, the 1950 marginal tax rate. Okay, that's what y'all arguing on. Oh, hey, but you know what else was going on in the 1950s and 60s? You want to know what else was going on that you guys neglect? Oh, we had all our manufacturing jobs here. Yeah. We had our manufacturing jobs. We didn't sell out to China at that time. So yeah, of course it would work out a little bit then because we didn't sell out our entire middle class. Duh. One of the reasons for this wealth disparity is because we sold out our middle class. Well, why don't y'all get that argument?
Go to Nevada. Why do people go to Florida? Why do you think it is? Is it because maybe they don't have state taxes? Why do you think Arthur Laffer's in Tennessee? Why do you think Musk is in Texas? Why do you think Rogan went to Texas? Why do you think California is losing so many jobs?
I think
it's because of high
people
taxes?
who like to evade taxes. Sure,
it's evade taxes. So you see, but guys, let me, Sam, respectfully, I just figured out who you are.
Hey,
I'm telling you, I just figured out who you are. Deep down inside of you, you are driven by so much power, control, a deep-rooted feeling matching the qualities of a communist that wants to tell you what to do.
Yep.
And you think you know what's best for others, and if it isn't your way, everybody else is wrong. And by the way, an extremely unattractive quality,
I'm literally
but
just
very
advocating for higher taxes on super wealthy people.
No, you're not, because what you just said,
2.5 million.
Hey,
what you just said.
my man
Let me just make the point.
Shout out to my man Fire. He says, "Yo, what's up, everybody? Why it look like you don't have braids anymore? Good night. I'm out." Shout out to my man, bro.
My man.
Appreciate you pulling up, Fire Ant. Have a good morning.
Point here. You just said people who left California and New York, your first response was they're evading as if they have to pay you. That's not how this works. They're evading taxes. These guys are tax evaders. They left. No, it's called, if a company offers better benefits. Are you on Rumble?
I think we stream on Rumble.
Where do you put your video clips the most? YouTube?
YouTube.
Why YouTube?
It's just what the technology was when we started.
Why don't you do it on Vimeo?
We'll see.
We do run it through Vimeo.
Why don't you do all your stuff through Vimeo? Why do you do it on YouTube?
That's where the most people are.
And that's where they pay the best.
Well, that's I mean, that's where we have the most audience. But if we had a
you're evading. You're evading the revenue going to another company. You're such an evader of sponsorship money going to another company that keeps more money of it. You're such an evader. Why are you evading all this sponsorship money? You're such a sponsorship money evader. Sam Seder's a sponsorship money evader. Everybody, come on, man.
I'm a sponsorship evader.
Yeah.
What is it?
What did you call it? No, you called people leaving California tax evaders. See, that's the part.
I think there's a lot of people who leave high tax states for low tax states.
Is that evading or is that just common sense?
You want to call them tax evaders.
I mean, if you want to,
I think there's a lot of people
if they're going for tax reasons, then they're trying to.
There's also a lot of people that go to lower cost restaurants versus higher cost restaurants.
Would you rather
There's people that shop at H&M versus shopping at
better opportunity.
It's called safe.
Yes, a better opportunity. Just because, like, if you leave California to go to Florida, it doesn't mean you're a tax evader, Sam. But I mean, I could see where you libs think that
money
situation.
It's like stay in the state where we can tax you at the highest rate, or you're a tax evader. Like, come on, really now?
If I have to be under, if I have to be under someone's watch, like a dictatorship quality like you that thinks you know what's best for others.
You think I'm a dictator?
Shout out to my man Ham, man. He says, at Police Cam, appreciate you helping your community by having a biz. Would you stop growing just because you might get taxed more on additional revenue? That's actually a good question. I'm sure I know I would. Here's the thing. Would you stop working if you got taxed on additional revenue? It all depends on, Ham, I'll be real with you. It would, and I probably think that Police Cam probably got the same view. It probably depends on how much. How much are y'all going to charge me on this extra tax? Because he's already getting hit in 27. If you hike it up to like freaking like 80 or 90, it's like, that's asinine. Like, bro, literally be working for the government. He's no longer working for his family. He's no longer working for his dreams or to build his business. He's working for the government at a certain point At a certain point, if you raise the taxes that high.
Financial dictator.
The way you are,
I'll give you
where
that.
you feel, your first answer was a tax evader. That's how you view them. You don't view them as a asset to the state. You see them as criminals. You just called entrepreneurs that live in New York and California as criminals. Is tax evader a criminal? Rob, can you pull up what a tax evader is?
Sure.
Type in tax evader synonym. Tax evader synonym. What are some tax evader synonyms? Can you go to tax evader synonyms or also tax dodger, tax fraud, tax
avoidance? We're going to hit with that Wesley Snipes, man. Your ass going to jail.
Avoidance. You're calling these people criminals.
A person who tries to avoid paying taxes, often through illegal means.
Calling somebody who leaves.
So me, I left.
Taxes,
so I left California because
I'm sorry. I should have said tax avoiders.
Right. Okay. So tax evaders. Right.
Avoiders.
It's called.
Are we good with tax avoiders?
It's called better opportunities.
Am I a better person if I say
Sam, you're also a tax avoider.
Better opportunities.
Because if you have an S corp, you have what is called as write-offs.
Well, that's such an.
And so you don't. So like when you do write-offs.
Do I do?
I already know the answer. Of course you do.
Write off.
Such an
so
evader,
you write it off. Why you avoided taxes, bro?
Why would you do such a thing, Sam? You're a tax evader.
It's
Call
okay.
Shame on this guy
just to do that.
Writing off taxes.
Here's something.
Call the feds.
Here's something that
You probably have an accountant helping you.
He does. Sam, here's something that I've learned. It's okay to say the following. You ready? Man, I might have been wrong on that one.
I just conceded.
In anything.
I should have said
I'm just saying in anything. Because where growth happens is when you be like,
avoider.
Yeah, when you grow. I remember the most amount of money I ever made was in 2016. I was like, oh my God,
this is like
I'm a millionaire now. It's a tax therapy session. I was like, oh my God, I'm paying all this taxes. I don't like this.
And I created an S corp. What fascinates me about this is that like I'm talking about policies that impact the country. I'm talking about the implications of taxation on the top 0.5%. Top 1% of this country,
who pay
and it is
50%
boiled
of
down
taxes, Sam.
to you guys saying that I'm a bad person.
No. I actually think you're a great person.
I don't care,
with bad ideas.
I don't care about like any of you as individuals.
You same boat as us.
I don't care about me. Exactly.
I don't disrespect
policies. And when we get into policy, I notice how this all pivots, and I don't blame you because, frankly, if you tell the American public, and maybe not this audience, because this audience is built on your on your business, around your business doings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you tell the American public that they're getting fleeced and they are losing political power to money, they react like they did in Wisconsin. They basically reject it. And so that's that is the message I'm carrying.
What happened on
y'all overselling Wisconsin low key? It's like, bro, what happened in Wisconsin is that the candidate was just too conservative. People were kept saying like all the political analysts said that, bro. It had nothing to do with Elon's 25 mil. It had everything to do with the fact that bro just wasn't a good candidate. And that happens. Yes, you could put money behind somebody and them not being a good candidate. Like for examples for the Dems, Kamala Harris. So that's all that happened. Bro was just a little too conservative for Wisconsin. He was leaning a little bit too hard on anti-abortion laws. And they was like, yeah, bro, we're cool with the Trump, but you, nah. And I always just say, like I said, Trump's a 90s Democrat. He is not fully a conservative, to be honest.
On November 5th.
Those people didn't come out. They came out to vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a character that they like.
Why didn't they come out in 2020? Oh.
Why didn't they come out? Because Donald Trump was very close to their experience. And I have a feeling in 2024, they'd also vote him out if he tries to run again.
Can you imagine? Like you had 4 years of a guy. His name is Donald Trump. Then this motivational speaker named Joe Biden shows up. Okay, and he fills up the arenas and he wins. Every time he spoke, 200,000-300,000 people would show up to just hear this man give a speech. Like one of those.
No, that's the thing. Biden was a complete just placeholder for not Donald Trump.
This guy gets up there and he crushes Trump. And you guys are like, oh, he got so destroyed, crushes Trump. Look at the way Biden beat Trump. People don't want a person like Trump. And then America watched all the policies that you support. Biden comes president. He does what he does. 4 years later, his vice president, his VP, Kamala Harris,
Google
runs for
antitrust and
office.
see how popular
His
it is.
VP runs for office, okay? Runs for office, loses every battleground state, 89 county, 50 for 50 states become more Republican. And you're sitting here saying you guys think you got better policies?
No, I think Kamala
this
Harris.
is a policy conversation.
Kamala Harris is. I mean, I think. Look,
I'll give him that.
I think it was what Biden did in staying in was atrocious. He should have gotten out way earlier.
Yeah.
There's a story coming out now of like Ron Klain seeing him before the debate and realizing the guy was a mess. And I think Harris's campaign was also poorly run. I think that, nobody could tell what her policies were.
Poorly run, but highly funded.
Cuban's going out there saying we're going to get rid of. Right, I agree. Mark Cuban's coming out there saying like,